Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working on the south side of my home. This is one of the earliest beds I did, and it's home to some kind of rangy looking rugosa roses. It is one of my favorite roses. This is a variety called Frau Dagmar Hastrup, and I love rugosa roses because they get the great hips in the fall. They get beautiful fall color. This one flowers once heavily in May and then infrequently throughout the rest of the summer. So it's not a steady bloom, but it's looking really old. It's probably been here. I planted 3 of them here about maybe 12 to 15 years ago. And everything has a lifespan, and I'm not particularly loving the growth habit of them anymore. There's a lot of dieback that's been happening. And I also have some Zagreb coreopsis down here that needs to be divided. And I thought I can spruce this up. So last year I was on a trip courtesy of First Editions, or Bailey Nurseries First Edition Shrubs and Trees. And I got to go up to Minnesota and see some beautiful stuff. And one of the things that really caught my eye was their selection of easy Elegance roses. So kind of made a note of all the different roses that I love. I planted one last year and I made a video on that one. That was the Sweet Fragrance Rose. It was absolutely beautiful, and I'm expecting it to be even more gorgeous. It's second summer this year. But I happened to be at Home Depot last week and I came across, they had just gotten a shipment in of Easy Elegance roses. And I have certain criteria that I want to meet when I'm planting something. I'm thinking about not just one season of interest, but a multi-season interest plant. And the variety that I chose from Easy Elegance is one called, here, let me just grab it. So this is Oscar Peterson. So it's a white rose. And although it doesn't get the fall color that my Frau Dagmar Hastrup does, the Frau Dagmar Hastrup rugosa rose develops these beautiful plum and golds and reds. It's just kind of like a rainbow of saturated color in the fall. This, I'm not expecting that so much on this, but it does get beautiful fall hips. Hips are a great, fall interest thing. If you make jams and jellies, you can do that with the rose hips, but they get these very large orange hips on them. And what I also loved about this is it's a relatively small rose with an upright growth habit. I think it's 3 to 4 feet tall. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, 2 to 4 feet tall, 2 to 3 feet wide, which is perfect for this space. I'm gonna plant them about 3 feet apart on center. So it's constantly in flower, blooms spring till frost. It's already got buds on it, so I've got high hopes for it. And one of the big things for me is it's gotta be fragrant. If you're gonna call it a rose, it has to smell like a rose. And this is supposed to be very fragrant, very pollinator friendly. Check that box off my list too. So I am looking forward to planting 2 of these guys here. And then I'm going to use what I have because my coreopsis is in need of division. I have not messed with this area for years, and it shows. It's very sparse and everything looks like it needs some TLC. So I am going to divide the coreopsis and do some coreopsis through here. This rose starts out yellow buds and then it softens and goes white as the flower ages, but the center of it is yellow. So I thought the Zagreb coreopsis would play on that yellow. And then I think in the center I've got a bunch of dinner plate dahlias. I'm competing with the wren here. I've got his house over here, and I don't think he's very happy that I'm in his space right now. But I thought maybe some purple dahlia. I think I've got Thomas Edison. Is that the purple one? I think so. I thought that would be pretty planted in the middle for height, but I'm really excited about these roses. Very disease resistant, smells like, it's supposed to smell like a rose. I haven't smelled it yet, but if it's anything like my Sweet Fragrance Rose, I have no reason to believe that it won't be fragrant. And just constantly in color and very low maintenance and easy to care for, and I like easy. So first things first, I have to dig out these rugosa roses. So let's get after it. And if you're wondering what gloves I'm wearing to do this, these are very prickly roses. These are the gauntlet gloves from Women's Work. I've bought them for my mom, my sister-in-law, myself. They are great when you're working with things like with prickles like roses or barberries. They're just an excellent, great protection for your forearms, and nothing gets through them. I'll link to that below, by the way. Before I dig out my third and final rose, I want to give you a close-up and show you what rugosa roses are known to do. So they develop a nice sturdy base, but then they'll start to sucker. So in certain parts of the country, I believe, especially out on the East Coast, they are very aggressive. So you want to do your homework before you plant anything in your garden to make sure that you're not introducing an invasive species. So they sucker a lot. And then just beyond it, I have a bulb that I'm not particularly fond of that is just about to flower. This is Sicilian honey garlic. It's a member of the allium family. My mom and I bought bulbs of this from the Chicago Botanic Garden several years ago. She dug hers out, and I think I'm going to do the same. I don't care for how this looks in the springtime. It's just kind of messy looking. I am going to leave the alliums back here, but the honey garlic is going to come out, and I'm going to see if I can find anybody who's interested in that. And then I also back here have a perennial hibiscus that hasn't woken up. Oh, I see a little green in there. But that is Candy Crush, so that's here. And then a few of sprigs from my Musabaju or hardy banana have survived the winter with minimal coverage. So we'll see what that looks like. So that is for this corner back here. But the honey garlic is coming out along with the rugosa roses. I knew this was going to be a hard one. Okay, now for the fun part. I feel like it already looks better. I've got all three of the roses out. I took out the honey garlic that was here, left the alliums, and then my pile, I smell like onions right now, you guys. So that's the honey garlic, and then the rugosa roses chopped up. And then I just have to take out the coreopsis here, and then the little Susie Rudbeckia, and then I can divide all of them up. I'm gonna space my roses here first and see where I like them. I'm gonna work in a little bit of compost in here too, just to refresh the bed a little bit. And I also made a lot of compost from my kitchen scraps over the winter. Vigo Composter sent me their Vigo composter, and I just tossed everything, all the vegetable scraps, the fruit scraps, everything right into the composter. Eggshells, coffee grounds, and I made, this isn't even half of it, this is what's left. I made a ton of compost from that, so I'm just gonna drop this in there as well, and then I'm gonna sprinkle in some organic slow release fertilizer too. And then on top of the compost, I'm going to add some true organic rose and flower food. And the recommendation is about 1.5 cups for every 10 square feet in a new bed. I'm considering this a new bed. I'm putting all new plants in and dividing some plants, so it's pretty new. So I'm going to drop in about 6 cups of the fertilizer. This is a 40 square foot bed, so 6 cups ought to work. And then I'm going to work it in about 3 to 6 inches into the soil, and then I can start planting. I forgot to put my microphone on when I removed my sweatshirt, so I'm having to do a voiceover quick here. But what I was telling you is I am going to be placing these roses 3 feet apart on center, which means I'm just measuring from the center of one shrub to the center of the other shrub to get my 3 feet placement. And then also the cool thing about this particular rose is it's an own root rose instead of a grafted rose. And that simply means that what you see on the top above ground is the exact same plant below ground. And that's important because as a cold climate gardener, if my rose was killed to the ground, a grafted rose might grow the rootstock rose when it recovers. That's not the case with this rose. If this is killed to the ground, the rose that would emerge from those roots is the Oscar Peterson rose. So that's why it's nice to plant own root roses. And another nice thing about own root roses is you don't have to worry about where that graft union is located when you're planting it. So you can just simply plant this at the same level it's at in the can that it comes in. And then my next step will be to divide up all the rudbeckia and the coreopsis and trim this out and maybe leave a little space for some dahlias in the background for this summer. And I need to make a run to the garden center and pick up a few bags of mulch too, and that will be my final step. So stay tuned, subscribe if you'd like to see the follow-up to this video and see how everything has grown in here this first season. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. All right, guys, it's been several days and I got things divided and I've got everything pretty much where I want it to be. So first let me just jump off with the roses. Look at the roses. They popped yesterday and I love the way the buds sit so high. Look at how the buds sit up. They're very upright. It's gonna make a beautiful cut flower, but those roses are gorgeous and I've had several little bees in them. But let me just show you what's going on here. So I popped in, I had to stake this is vanilla strawberry botanical hydrangea tree. I had to stake it because the wind just whips through here and it forces it to lean, so stake that. But I underplanted it with some queen tut papyrus because I really like that sparkler effect. And then I took some two different types of Easy Wave petunia. This is Easy Wave Navy Velour, that's available this year. And then this is pink. Look at this beautiful pink pearl. So I did a combination. I thought that would be gorgeous, but the pink pearl is their Wave's 30th anniversary color. That will be available next year. And then I did a combination of that all underneath the botanical hydrangea. It's very, very sunny here, and the sun really penetrates straight through here. This is a really hot part of the garden. So then this is some lavender bubbles, allium. This is a neon sedum that I took from between the Schubertii alliums that were here. It was just very shaded. So I moved that here and then took some of those Viette Little Susie rudbeckia, did 3 of those. And then back here, I did this plum crazy salvia. Look at that. So the color of the flowers is gorgeous, but the calyxes are gorgeous as well. So the whole plant is beautiful. That's going to be like 2.5 to 3 feet tall. Then in another week or two, I'm going to pop in some of the dahlias that I got started several weeks ago. Those will go back here, but I just can't get over these roses, you guys. And then here is some of the Zagreb coreopsis, and then I actually had one of my dwarf buddleias come back, and the other one's, it's just such an unreliable plant in my garden, so I'm just glad that one's here. This is a blue one, and I'm forgetting the name of it offhand. Then the hibiscus, this is Candy Crush hibiscus, and then I have the hardy banana back here, and then just beyond that is some Sun King Aralia, and then I popped in a bunch of carex. This is Feather Falls carex through here, and then this, you know what, I'm just going to take you around the back side here. I got some more of that Zagreb coreopsis here that I need to move, but this is all that Feather Falls carex. And I thought the texture next to my Eclipse hydrangea, look at the black foliage on that, and it gets a beautiful raspberry red flower on it. It's a mop head, but I thought the textures would be really pretty with the variegated Feather Falls carex and the Aralia, and it would just really, all the colors would play off of each other really well. But look at the color through there, you guys. Wow, I am thrilled with it. I can't wait to pop in my dahlias back here and just for all of this to fill in. And I know waiting is the hardest part, isn't it? So that is what I've accomplished so far. All right, guys, I hope you're having a great day.